How do you become a better human? Introspection and hard work. You gotta look real hard at the parts that you don't like about yourself, and then make consistent efforts to go about changing them. It's a long, grueling endeavor, and it never ends. It can be scary, but on the plus side, you also level up as a person. Hang out with better people. The people who you hang around with can actually tell a lot about who you are as a person. Own up to your actions and learn from them. It's only a mistake if it happens twice. Otherwise, it's a learning experience. Quit comparing yourself to people you don't really know. Respect everyone, but don't expect anything from them. Avoid negative people. Find happiness in everything, within reason, like rocking out in traffic rather than getting upset. Understand a subject before forming an opinion and accept that some people won't conform to logic. Prepare yourself for your goals, do your research, plan, practice, then execute. Recognizing your own flaws and work with what you got. It's not always easy. I realized I have narcissistic tendencies in my late teens. Manipulation and deceit and lying came so natural, and sometimes I didn't even realize what I was doing it. That together with ADHD, I've had to work hard to become the person who I want to be. And I am still constantly working on myself to be a better person. People are illogical, unreasonable, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you are successful, you will win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today will be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and frankness make you vulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway. The biggest men and women with the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest men and women with the smallest minds. Think big anyway. People favor underdogs but follow only top dogs. Fight for a few underdogs anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. People really need help but may attack you if you do help them. Help people anyway. Give the world the best you have and you'll get kicked in the teeth. Give the world the best you have anyway. The Paradoxical Commandments, Kent M. Keith, 1968. By taking responsibility for something. On your relationships, on your job, your studies with your family, the more responsible you are, more valuable you will be as a human being. Spend less time focusing on your negative thoughts and more time taking risks to reach outside yourself and embrace those around you. And to add to this, it sounds a bit woo, but pay attention to the voice in your head. How do you react when things don't go your way? How do you criticize yourself? Would you, for example, speak to any of your friends the way you speak to yourself? I sure wouldn't. I have been silently horrible to myself for years. So many things I have stopped doing or never tried, or just found much more odious, because I was so critical about everything. It's work in progress, but honestly, treating yourself with kindness and realizing the difference between when you need an internal drill sergeant occasionally, and when you need a coach or a cheerleader or just a friend in your head. It can make trying new things and growing so much more fun, and easier. Suffer. Then, when you know what it is to suffer, consider the suffering of those around you, humans, animals, insects. Try to alleviate and prevent that suffering through any means possible. I am not speaking of heroics either. Asking your cashier how he's doing and letting him speak for a few seconds can go a long way. Freeing an insect from drowning in a puddle will stop a desperate, horrified life from suffering. Consider your actions, your words and your intentions in terms of how they either free you from or burden you with pain. As a pathetic excuse for a human being, I would like to know sometimes. First step in any solution is admitting there is a problem. It's all about making small conscious decisions that lead to better outcomes over time. Start small, with something as simple as exercising and see where feeling better about yourself takes you. Take a step into the world of philosophy. I took a philosophy course in my senior year of HS and it opened my eyes to so many great perspectives on things, people, life in general. I still have much to learn, as I haven't done much reading on more philosophical figures, but taking the step into that realm was one of the best things for me. Philosophy also helps with something people do too much of sometimes, argument and debate. So many people would rather throw insults at each other, refuse to see the other side of their argument, not look at the facts, etc. I love that it encourages civility and reaching an understanding for both parties. Everybody can benefit from that. Think about the things you want to do, be and set small goals toward that. Sometimes it's not about getting rid of the negative traits or the things we don't like about ourselves, but it's about putting our time and energy into the things we think will make us better. Taking time to make yourself better in small ways: eat one more fruit each day, do one more exercise with your workout, read 5 more pages of that book each night, is a small time readjustment that's often helped me minimize my bad habits. Follow this. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Practice gratitude every day. Simply write down 1 to 3 things you felt grateful for that day. Soon, it becomes a habit, and thinking about the positive things rather than dwelling on negative helps you want to be a better person. I think having a role model helps. If your negative traits have to do with your gender or anything, it'll help to have a role model of the same gender. I know it feels childish, but person shrugging male sign. Here's one way. Give without any expectation of receiving anything in return. Some people might think this makes you a doormat, but usually people like that are trying to get something. They're trying to get the satisfaction of pleasing people. Let go of even that. Focus on other people. What do they need? And then offer it what you are willing to give. Know yourself enough to know what you would be comfortable with giving. If they say no, get rid of even the narcissistic validation of giving and accept that they don't want it. If they say yes, give without any expectation of return, and if they offer something in return and you would like it, then accept it. Introspection. Recognizing and correcting, when possible, your own flaws. Also, I think perspective taking is really important, and is a skill that very few people are adept at. Don't always assume that someone else will feel the same way or view something in the same light as you do. Our individual life experiences can make us see the same things differently, so it's important to acknowledge that and try to consider why someone might perceive something differently before you react, judge them. Obviously, learn from your own mistakes, but pay attention. There are more people that are not you making a combined collection of mistakes that is bigger than the collection of mistakes you will ever make. Learn from the mistakes and accomplishments of others. And remember to be as objective as possible when appropriate while learning from mistakes, whether they are yours or not. By forgiving your past self for not knowing better but also not repeating the same mistakes. And also by generously giving people genuine appreciation for their good sides and being kind to them. Stop ghosting or doing the fade away. Show up when you say you're going to show up, even if you're anxious. Be a person of integrity. It's maybe slightly painful at first, but that feeling does pass. The more you cater to yourself wimping out, the harder it will become for you to not wimp out. Work on empathy. The ability to put yourself in someone else's place. It's what separates normal people from sociopaths. Be self-aware and acknowledge the fact that you have toxic traits and work towards fixing them. Also say sorry and mean it. Be mindful of how your words and actions impact those around you. Even if it's a random person you pass on the sidewalk, your behavior and interactions can and do impact the people around you. Always be willing to learn. You don't know everything and you are wrong about things, people, opinions, how to pronounce words. If you take it as a learning opportunity instead of a failure or a criticism, it helps you grow as a human. Perspective is everything, and you have to realize yours isn't always right or important. Don't let bad things make your day bad as well. I just realized I haven't had a bad day in a long time, and so many bad things happen to me on a daily basis. I just learned to remember that it could be so much worse, and I concentrate on all the good things that happens to me that day. Understand that each and every human being has a life as complex and as capable of conscious thought. We are all facing some sort of hardship, all looking forward to something, and all regret something from the past. By being more accountable with what you say, do, and how you behave, then people can learn to trust you and feel safe to share and open up to you. Reevaluate everything you know. You'll be surprised how many things you think you know that turn out to be false, or a half-truth. Take a minute to look up and do some brief research to see if your biases and beliefs are based on truth. Be prepared to admit you're wrong, and change your behavior accordingly. Give yourself the chance to be wrong, so that you can learn what's right. And admit the things you were wrong about freely, without ego. My grandma told me if I am not feeling good, sometimes I should go through the day without complaining. The coffee is cold? Well, no problem. The cashier didn't give me my change back? Excuse me, I think you forgot to give me my change back. After I did this for 3 days straight, I noticed I became happier and more peaceful. Life is good. I personally think that a life pursuing education is how you become a better person. Education exposes you to new ways of looking at things, gives you a better understanding of other people, and makes you a generally well-rounded person. It doesn't even have to be general education, just whatever interests you. Smiley face. Surround yourself with people from all walks of life, with different perspectives. Always have empathy for others, but remember that people will take advantage. If you can help with something, don't just watch, actively get stuck in and help. Don't wait for people to ask, unless it's emotional help they need. Remember that some people are just bad people and you can't change that, but it's okay to walk away, even if it hurts. You will be better for it. Edit. There is a saying that I should put here as it's apt: don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Be the person who makes a positive difference to someone's day. Do a good deed or an act of generosity. Even better if you have taken the time to think how you could help a specific person the best way.